Well, praise Jesus, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this YouTube for the past 3 days, this being the third day. Let's see, today is the 26th, I believe. Yeah, it's the 26th of October, 2018. And the time, let's see, what time is it? It's probably like about 5 minutes till 3 Pacific time. And thank God it's Friday. I'm doing this on YouTube because I want my face. Look at that facha. Look at that facha. It's Italian for face. Anyways, I just wanted to be able to actually see my person. Another name for self. Just wanted to see myself, I guess. I like to see people's faces, when they talk. And I have a podcast on Spreaker that's audio. And the beauty of podcast and blogs and videos, vlogs, they call it. You could go on audio only. You could go on audio and video and then repost to my blog. I repost to my blog sometimes. And later, because I work the second shift to midnight, 3:30 to midnight, I'll go ahead and play this and put it on my Spreaker. But Spreaker and YouTube also directly goes to Twitter. I could have it go to my Facebook if I want, but I don't want it to go directly to my Facebook. But I do share it after I've already broadcast on Facebook. Sometimes I go on Facebook Live. But anyhow, it's just as I said, folks. Of all the points, please listen to not only this episode, but listen to yesterday's and Wednesdays, and listen to Tuesdays also, because it's to listen whenever an event happens. Listen to what was being discussed the day before the event. So the day before this event, which came out on the news Wednesday, the day before yesterday, my podcast was titled Pray for Mexico and the United States. And in that broadcast, I also mentioned something about the Russian collusion and stuff like that. And I want to recommend to you to go to iHeartRadio, because you can search any radio station in the United States. And primarily I listen to KOGO AM 600. It's San Diego's, one of their talk radio shows. And Carl DiMaio is awesome. He's the host of, I believe his broadcast starts at 3 or 4, but you could find out. Carl DiMaio, his last name is capital DE, capital MAIO. Sometimes I forget his name and I think of Cinco de Mayo, Carl DiMaio. Yeah, that's his name, Carl DiMaio. And I listen also primarily to KFI, Los Angeles, the Ken and John show. And are you guys familiar with Tim Conway? Tim Conway, the TV comedian from the Carol Burnett show, mainly. Funny guy. And his son, Tim Conway Jr., is equally hilarious as his father, but personality is polar opposite. How can one man be one of the funniest men in the world and then his son be equally humorous and funny, and actually a very interesting person, but be kind of not total opposite or polar opposite, but totally different, but equally as funny? But he has got a lot. He starts at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, a 4-hour show. So I recommend KFI, the Ken and John show, and the Tim Conway Jr. show. Yesterday's Tim Conway Jr. was hilarious, by the way. It was like 15 minutes of total chaos with people, with them biting at each other over the soundboard because they had to borrow somebody else's soundboard because somebody else came in sick and some other guy was called in to the show to rescue everybody. But it was funny. It was hilarious. It reminded me of my old days. I don't think I've ever been that chaotic on the air. I was a disc jockey news producer for 4.5 years at an AM radio station in Ashland, Virginia. It was like the funnest time of my life, career wise. But it wasn't even a career; it was volunteer. I wasn't getting paid for 4.5 years. I wasn't getting paid. It was volunteer because I was in Bible school. And but enough of my little intro. The pipe bomber, whatever you want to call it, I was absolutely correct. And I just want to, you have to listen to my two previous broadcasts from yesterday and the day before. Listen to the one before this event happened, Pray for Mexico and the United States elections. And listen to the one prior to that also. Watch it, listen to it. It's on YouTube, it's on Spreaker, and my YouTube and Spreaker is on YouTube, my YouTube channel. And you can actually go to my Twitter also, look up my name, Michael D. Tobin. It's pretty neat that I got that name. It wasn't taken yet. It's exactly like I said. Everybody and their grandmother knows that this event is not as it is intended to be. It took a think tank. I know I'm correct on that. And I mentioned that they will find a person. And I didn't have the time to say that the person was most likely to be creepy looking and a little bit of an obscure person. So they got a guy, but the title of this broadcast is Pipe Bombs and Rogaine, Rogaine. I had to look it up. How do you spell Rogaine? Because I didn't want to misspell a word. And I turned on the television to watch a little bit of CNN and a little bit of Fox. And I got so tired of it, I put it on mute. But the first photo that I saw was a picture of this person of interest that they arrested in Florida, a place called Plantation in Florida. And he had, to me, just a little bit of hair on top and a lot of bare spots, skin color bare spots. And it looked exactly like he sprayed Rogaine on his head. And I'm like, even though it looked like that, it's still, I've never seen anybody with hair that looked like that. And then, lo and behold, Jeff Sessions comes up with his press conference, and they had another picture of him with more hair on the guy's head, and it still didn't look normal. His hair, so he had a full head of hair, even on the sides. The first picture, which they're still showing today, I was staring at the TV with my camera ready on my cell phone ready, so that I'm like, okay, come back with this picture again with Jeff Sessions. I finally got tired of them waiting for them to come to that picture, so I went online, Fox News, and I went on the Fox News website and played the video repeat of Jeff Sessions, and there was his picture. So I didn't have to sit in front of a television ready to take a little snapshot with my cell phone camera like an idiot, just watching for a photo. So I got those photos. I'll get it up tonight. Okay. I'll get it up tonight and I'll put it on the main profile picture of this actual video. But I said that they were going to find a person quick, a manhunt. They found a person in 3 days. How convenient. But this is not what it appears. In my last broadcast, I said that it is a warning to Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, and all these other people that have information about the SpyGate thing. That is what this is all about. It is a warning, and they all know it, not to divulge information, because the day before and 2 days before this event happened on Wednesday, they have literally got factual. It is not conspiracy. They have names, they've got numbers, and there's people that are conveniently disappearing and reappearing who are persons of interest in this illegal SpyGate thing that everybody was lampooning on mainstream media, that is just a conspiracy. The Republicans don't know what they're talking about. They just want, they're just a bunch of Trumpers, Trump cheerleaders, whatever. And so if you could find those two pictures in the Jeff Sessions, go ahead and look at it. The guy's got a whole head of hair, and then the picture that they're showing now is like the creepier version of the guy. He's got hardly any hair. And it's ridiculous, folks. Even Fox News and CNN, they've got the same photo of the guy with just a little bit of hair. Fox News is the only one that I saw, and I didn't have time to research. Like I keep on telling you guys, I don't have time to research everything that I claim. And I haven't even read anything. Everything I've heard was just the top of the hour, bottom of the hour news clips of what's supposedly going on with this mail package event. What more do you guys have to know that everybody already knows? I was listening to the Tim Conway Jr. show, and a whole hour he was talking about this, and at least a half an hour he took dozens of phone calls from people, and everybody had their own guess on what this really is about. And Dan Bongino beat me to the draw because he has an early morning broadcast, and I listened to it on iHeartRadio because his podcasts go directly to iHeartRadio. SoundCloud, I checked SoundCloud for Dan Bongino about a week ago, and it was many podcasts behind. So iHeartRadio is the way to go. He beat me to the draw, folks. He said the same exact thing, and I'm like, God, please don't let Dan Bongino beat me to the draw, because ever since I looked him up online, which was about 2 weeks ago, at least, I've been listening to his podcasts every day. Some of them I rewind, listen to again. Did I just hear what I just heard? I rewind it, and I play it again. And I keep on listening while I'm getting ready for work, while I'm driving to work, while I'm at work. And then I go back again and I listen to the whole thing uninterrupted, because the guy is on the same, him and I are on the same page. He could be the Italian part. I'm part Italian. He's probably got more Italian than I do, but I don't know. I'm on the West Coast. He's on the East Coast. And it's like, I didn't grow up with all these New York people, but maybe it's that I'm a type A personality. I don't know. But he beat me to the draw. He said it's one of two types of people, but you're going to have to listen to his show. His more what his contention is similar to mine. So in a sense, he didn't beat me to the draw. I'm thinking because when you're nationally recognized, there are some areas where you just don't go. You kind of flow. But it's going to come out. There's just too many things to talk about. You can't get it all in 1 hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it is. It's an hour, the Dan Bongino broadcasts. But it is my contention. Two contentions I want to tell you about now that I was accurate in. It's going to come out that it is accurate, that the big diversion, this is a diversion not from the elections, but it is a diversion from the SpyGate. A lot of people are going to be arrested. And I said in my last podcast, I don't even wish prison on Hillary Clinton, because I know that though all these people, they are being coerced, they are doing what they're told. And the only reason why these people put themselves in a position to be coerced for a certain rank of things, echelon of things to be coerced about, is because they're like, sure, I'll do it because I I'm conducive to this type of anarchy or freedom or whatever, what have you. There's two sides. There's freedom and then there's anarchy. There's socialist, communistic, and then there's capitalistic freedom. So they're all being warned, folks. That's what this is all about. And then I was actually absolutely accurate that they are going to find somebody real quick, which they did. 3 days they found somebody. Totally amazing. So this person already, just the 2 photos, folks. The people in the newsrooms are so frantic and they are doing what they said. I even said in my last broadcast, or actually the first Wednesday's precursor to part 1 and 2 and 3, the precursor to part 2 on Wednesday, that it is a warning. Okay, I said that it's a warning, and it is a diversion. But the news media, even Fox, they're all so frantic that they couldn't even get a photo. They got 2 photos, and it just shows that they're not covering all their bases. Fox News did not cover all their bases because they've got 2 photos that they're using. One shows a bunch of bare patches in the guy's head with very minimal hair. It looks like he sprayed Rogaine on his head. And then the other picture shows a full head of hair, even on the sides. And even that does not look natural. So this guy is a fake person. It's a fake person. Computer generated imaging is so advanced now that you could take a whole bunch of different types of facial features. This face, it looks like it's a mixture between Eastern European, darker complected people mixed with Eastern European Anglo complexion. And people are already guessing that the person is looks like appears, or maybe he may be partial Filipino, which Filipino is Spaniard and Asian. Okay, so they blended a few. I don't even think this is a real person, but they've got people that are saying this is the nicest guy that I've ever met. He never discussed politics or whatever. Well, they could find anybody that they want to say anything they want. And I hate to sound conspiratorial, but this is just a big old fake thing. And it's a big diversion. And it's a 3-day episode to generate ratings. It kills a whole bunch of birds with one stone. This is October, the first month of the 3rd quarter of the year. People should know that corporations and businesses, they try to make their quarterly earnings. The first 3 months of the year, the second 3 months of the year, and the third 3 months of the year. Well, this is the first month. We're at the end of the first month, so they can end it with a boom and get all their ratings. Everybody knows CNN is bad on ratings now. So they're all getting their ratings. What's going to happen next month at either beginning or the end of next month? What's going to happen at the 4th quarter, December? The beginning and the end. There's always something fabulous and spectacular to happen to cause people to watch television news. So it's sad, folks. We're being driven like a bunch of blind sheep. But it's interesting, and it is exactly like soap operas. People are not even tuning into their one Life to Live, Days of Our Lives, whatever all these soap operas are called. They're watching the news because they're getting a better soap opera. Watching the Mean Kids, it's like the Mean Kids, and then you're watching the intelligent people on Fox. But my issue with Fox is they always have an idiot on their panels, and they repeat like robots their vitriol instead of answering the questions. As long as they could get on that national news and repeat their vitriol, they've done their job, because they know that they cannot, people that I call the fools, they're not even liberal fools, they're communistic fools, they're anarchist fools, like Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters and all these people that were so-called targets. They're not targets. These people know things, and it's just insane that insane people are actually voted for. Every state is guilty of voting for an insane person. It is just ridiculous, but it's a soap opera out there. But this is going to be my part 3, I guess, the last one. I had to jump on this story, okay? But just look at those pictures, and it's like, oh, that's the cherry on the cake that proves that this is just a big old fake thing. The guy's face is probably doesn't. The guy probably doesn't even exist. What are these FBI people doing? Putting a blue roof tarp on a van, putting tape on it. They've taped the gas the gas cap opening. They taped where the 2 back doors of the van meet, taped across that. So every opening they put a little piece of tape, but they taped underneath. The way they taped it, I don't know. If they don't want to destroy the evidence, it's, they polluted the evidence probably. Who knows what's going to come out of it? Nothing's going to come out. Nobody's going to ask any questions. This is going to disappear, except for the fact that it reached its intended target, the people of the United States, not just voters, but the people, thinking it's a political issue. It's not a political issue, folks. It's an espionage issue. And I believe that everybody who was intended to be scared and terrified of divulging information on what's going to come, this SpyGate thing is going to come to pass. And I believe now that people are going to be arrested. And that was a warning that a group of people have the ability to make certain people disappear if they divulge evidence. And it's sad. I don't wish prison on anybody. I pray for them. So it's just amazing. And I said in my last broadcast, I don't know what it's like to be coerced, but these people do. The higher you get in government, the more that you're going to be coerced. I've said often that ideals are not welcome in politics. You may have patriotic ideals, but they all go by the wayside the higher you get, and you have to do what you're told or else. But it's a warning. That's what it is. And now they've got Mr. Rogaine as the perpetrator. Fake photo. Look at him. Look at the pictures. I'll have them tonight. God bless you guys. Thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day.